Good morning, this is Jiamu Lu and I'm here in Shenzhen, China to make this video. Today I'm going to take you for a short tour in one of Sunstrong International's SMT factory in their Dongguan factory. And actually Dongguan is a city very close to Shenzhen, only about 50 kilometers away from where I live in Shenzhen. And I think it's also very close to Hong Kong, about 40 kilometers away. So I arrived in the town where the Sunstrong International's SMT workshop located. It's called Tangsha, one of the town of Dongguan city. It is still a very important manufacturing town, and it used to have a lot of factories in this area. However, as I mentioned, that the government demolished many of the old factories and start to build the commercial buildings for other purpose rather than production. Where I am now is at the entrance of Sunstrong International's SMT workshop. So inside of this industrial park, there are two buildings belong to Sunstrong International. Both of them have SMT workshop, but also other functional areas such as quality control, R&D, and the general administration as well. So normally you are not allowed to take photos or making videos inside of the factory, but today we get approval from the management, so we are free to making this video. And before you move into the air shower room, you have to wear the dust suit and also the gloves, as well as shoe covers. The purpose of that is to prevent the dust on the human bodies contaminating the production process. So the most amazing part about the SMT workshop is the problem we are trying to solve here. So basically, in SMT factory, we are trying to got those small tiny piece of electronic components on those little copper pad. And it has to be carried out precisely in the right place with the right amount of solder. Now I'm inside of SMT workshop of Sunstrong International. As you can see, right behind me are 7 SMT production lines. Sunstrong International has 30 SMT production lines globally, which makes them able to assemble 70 million chips in a single day. In general, there are 4 steps involved in SMT production. At the beginning, we use a stencil machine to apply the solder paste on the surface of PCB. Stencil produced according to the designed position of solder pad on PCB. Solder paste, usually a mixture of flux and tin, is used to connect the SMC and solder pad on PCB. The printed PCB is then processed to a pick and place machine, where they are carried on a belt and the electronic components are placed on them. After SMC was placed, the boards are conveyed into a reflow soldering oven, where solder forms joints by a heating and a cooling process. At the end of production line, AOI or automated optical inspection equipment is used to inspect the final product and make sure each board is functional. The first step is to apply the solder paste. we use this solder paste stencil machine. In this step, the actual PCB fabrication process begins. No matter what type of PCB is being fabricated, stencil remains the primary step. In this step, we apply a stencil to the board. This is then followed by the application of solder paste. This ensures that solder paste is applied only where the components are to be mounted. This is my favorite machine about SMT production line. We call it pick and place machine. The machine pick and place component mounting by using robotic arms. This helps in rapid component mounting and reduce the chance for human errors. The electronic components come with tapes, and each tape contains specific component. Before production begins, the engineer needs to load the pick and place machine with the right tape. After all electronic components are mounted on PCB, the next important procedure is to make PCBA fully functional. This process is applied by placing them into a reflow oven. To successfully solder surface mount components to a circuit board, the heat should be transferred to the solder paste until its temperature reaches a molten point. The liquid alloy will merge with PCB copper pad and become alloy mixture. A solid solder joint will be formed after it cools down below molten point. The oven has anywhere from 8 or more zones, which you can individually control for temperature. Every PCBA has its own temperature standards the product needs to heat in each zone while making its way through the reflow oven. After PCBA making its way through reflow oven, we need a final step to inspect them. AOI, or Automated Optical Inspection, is one of the best inspection tools in the SMT environment. It helps identify issues and defects in the early stage of the manufacturing process. By using one or more HD cameras, this process captures image of assembled PCB surface with the help of light. It then compares the captured image with pre-existing template image to detect failure and quality defects. So that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoy it. In the last, I will share with you some video of people working in the workshop. They helped me a lot for making this video, and they are dedicated to their job and want to provide the high quality product. And thank you. See you next time.